Did you create that? Is that your doing?
Dan Cox from DC Music Services. He was the person who made that beat, and you should find him on YouTube as well because he's very good at doing these sort of things. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to his channel, and of course you need to subscribe to our channels as well, at Top Football, at TFB Dugout, at MAD Sports Network. If you put all of those into Google, our names comes up first. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. How are we?
Good. You know, enjoying the weather. Got my summer gear on, colours, grey shorts. We won't show that on camera.
Literally got his full Kanye West look going today. So anyone who's listening to the show, make sure you come and watch us instead and find out what Devo is doing and what he's wearing.
Dev yourself.
Yeah, he knows it. He absolutely knows it. Flozif, what's good?
I'm great, but I'm a little bit full because I just ate a hamburger a minute ago and jumped upwards for the show, but show is the most important, and the family has to wait now.
Exactly. Show comes first. So, as you all know, it's the Bundesliga show. However, there's no Bundesliga football. So what are we doing on this show? Well, I can tell you what we're doing on this show. What we do on this show is looking at the Euro 2020 squad for Germany, and we are going to compile our squad of 23 that will be going to the Euros. And whilst we're compiling it, for anyone who's thinking, oh, you know, what's going to be the final product? Well, we are going to put our squad. I think what we should do is put our squad together. We can banter it out and debate it and things like that. But once we've got our squad together, out of our 23 that we decide, we will all come up with an individual 11, which we will tell you right now, and then we will put on our Twitter feeds tomorrow. Might do it later, depends. Might have a couple of beers. I'm on the Red Stripes Day. There are other beers available. But yes, so we will put our starting 11 of what we feel will be the main squad for the Euro 2020. So, without any further ado, we need to pick. In fact, let's get a format together, because in my head, I'm thinking you have to take 3 goalkeepers by law.
3 goalkeepers, yep.
So 8 defenders.
Yep.
So that's an 11. I'm going with 9 midfielders. No, 8 midfielders. 8 midfielders and 5 forwards.
In my draft squad, I did 8 midfielders, but with Germany, it kind of works out to be.
To be honest, that's the first problem with Germany, because if you take a look at the socials from the German national team, they don't separate between midfield and attack because we have no attackers. They just have goalkeepers, 3 guys, defenders, mostly 8, and then it's midfield/attack. So that's
kind of how I went.
Obvious that we don't have the attackers in our squad.
But you know, the good thing is, the thing is about tournament football is you need players who can play in several positions. So,
yes,
you know, I did 8 midfielders and then 4 attackers, but those 4 attackers, 3 of them can play in midfield. So
it's going to be very interesting. So let's start at the back, and let's start with goalkeepers. Now, we've got a list of some goalkeepers. And then what we can do is break them down. One goalkeeper wasn't actually in this original list that we derived from kicker. So big shout out to the kicker guys as well. I'll say big shout. You don't need to give a big shout. They're massive already. I'll tell you what, kicker, big us up, please. Thank you very much. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and also retweet our stuff. I'm going to tag you in it. So you got to watch it. So goalkeepers, they missed one out. So I'll put them in there. Here's the options. Manuel Neuer, Oliver Baumann, Bernd Leno, shouldn't be anywhere near there, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Kevin Trapp, and I added Florian Müller. So, of these goalkeepers, we need to pick 3. Who are we taking? So, Neuer's a given.
Neuer's a given. I mean, I think Neuer and ter Stegen are both givens for me.
Yeah, that's
personally.
true. And Florian Müller, what's wrong with you? I mean, there's only one thing about him would make him to be considered as a goalkeeper for the Euros, and that's his first name. The first name is great. To be honest.
Come on, Flo. Man, he's been absolutely incredible this season so far.
He's been good this season.
He's been decent. Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't put him. For me, Neuer, Ter Stegen, and Kevin Trapp are head and shoulders above the rest. For me personally, I wouldn't put Bernd Leno anywhere near that squad. I've never really rated Leno, even when he was at Leverkusen. Didn't really rate him. Was not a happy bunny. Was not a happy bunny when we signed him. I thought, he was decent, but he had too many mistakes in him. And I think we've seen that at Arsenal as well. I don't think he's with the elite goalkeepers. I think he's decent. But if we wanted to improve, and that was a position we really needed to improve, I don't think we've really improved by signing him.
What? I'll sort of back that. Oh no, I'll sort of back that. And the reason why I back that is because for me, a goalkeeper is not just someone who can keep the ball out the back of the net. I don't really care how well you can play with the ball at your feet, because I want my goalkeeper stopping the ball from going in goal.
Great shot stopper.
Great shot stopper, but that's your job as a goalkeeper. I want someone who can command their box and own their 18-yard box. I rarely see Bernd Leno come out and own it and be like, right, I'm having that, I'm picking that up. I barely see it. So for that reason, Bernd Leno is out of.
And to be honest, we're talking about the number 3 here. So usually number 3 isn't interested. I mean, interesting. Back in 2014, on number 3 was Ron Robert Seeler, just because he was the most quiet one and didn't complain about anything.
I believe he was on loan. I believe he was on loan at Northampton Town.
Could be, yeah.
He was in Man United, wasn't he?
He was player.
So therefore, Ron Robert Seeler, he has every right to be in the squad, being playing for a club in my hometown. So if I get that list back up again, Manuel Neuer, Oliver Baumann, Bernd Leno, Ter Stegen, Kevin Trapp, Florian Müller. You guys are not putting Florian Müller in the squad as a number 3?
No, number 3, Kevin Trapp.
I would say Bernd Leno, because I have the Leverkusen glasses on. But if you're objective, you have to say number 3 isn't so important. And Bernd Leno and Marc-Andre Ter Stegen always had this rivalry. In their early years, they were the same age, played in the same youth national team, and Marc-Andre Ter Stegen was always a tiny little bit ahead of him, and there was lots of beef during their youth days. So Kevin Trapp could be the easier guy in terms of the inner climate in the team, in the dressing room, the atmosphere in the dressing room. So you don't have the rivalry between Bernd Leno and Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, and just do it the easy way, take Kevin Trapp with you. And who the hell cares about the third goalkeeper? I mean, take a look at our goalkeepers. The first one plays for Bayern Munich, second for Barcelona. And even I would consider Arsenal still a big club. Even if Leno would be the third, you have 3 big clubs.
We love you, Flo. You could be on the show every week.
I believe not a single nation can argue with that. So we definitely we still have the best goalkeeper.
I agree.
At the very bad youth coming.
See, I just want to take Müller because I'm a believer in form. So I will go with you guys because you guys are, I'm sort of taking a relative back seat in this until the 23's been made, and then I'm going to bring my starting 11 to the table, and I feel that my starting 11 will be better than everyone else's because I want to be like that. Right, okay, so let's have a look at defenders. There are plenty defenders on this, so I'm going to rattle off the names of these defenders because of people that will be listening rather than watching. So the names: Riedler Baku, Jerome Boateng, Matthias Hinter, Robin Gosens, who I didn't know was German, if I'm honest. I always thought he was Dutch or Belgian.
Germans didn't know either.
There you go. Honestly, Robin Gosens does not sound like a German name. It sounds.
Many thought he was Dutch. Yeah,
it's a Flemish name.
Yeah,
Christian Günther, Marcel Hastenberg, Benjamin Heinrich, Mats Hummels, Jonathan Tah, Felix Udukai, Thilo Kira, Lucas Klosterman, I love him by the way. He's definitely going in. Robin Koch, Philip Max, Antonio Rudiger, who's on the visual right there for you. Nico Schultz, Nicholas Stark, Diklas Schuler, as we know him in Deutschland, and someone who wasn't in this list, and I've just realised I spelt his bloody name wrong. So bloody annoying. Nico Schlotterbeck. I added him to the list because I like to add names. So there are. I'm gonna have to leave this up really because we need to pick 8 of these to take to the Euros this year.
Shall we go on position by position?
So
the thing is,
like centre backs.
Yeah, I was thinking like
how many centre backs are going for?
The right backs and 4 centre backs. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the sort of process I was thinking.
Okay, and also, are we doing this just as 100% who we would take, or who's available and who Joachim Low can choose from? Because Mats Hummel, is he made himself available, or was it just that Low didn't want him? Or
so Löw. Oh, I'm with Mr. Parker. Your pronunciation was great, Gav.
Yeah, 100%.
Here we go.
98%.
You're my inspiration.
Perfect.
You're my inspiration. We even pronounced Schlotterbeck correctly without spelling it correctly. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, but that was me typing really quickly.
Extra points.
And trying to rush off. Like early on today, like I swear. Or no, I'm not. I'm going to say that off air. I'll say it off.
Okay. Right.
But regarding Mats Hummels, he said that he would be always available if the national coach is asking him. But 2 years ago, the pressure on Löw was really, really high, really increasing. And that's when he decided to kick Müller, Hummels, and Boateng because they seemed too old and slowly, and they had a low in their performances. But taking a look at the current situation, Boateng is performing. He won the treble as the starting 11 player for Bayern Munich. Hummels is performing at Dortmund, and we don't need to talk about Müller. Seems to be playing the best season of his life so far. But Mats Hummels would be available if Joachim Löw would ask him. And now we have to figure out if he should ask Mats Hummels. And for me, it's an absolute yes.
For me, the same. I think Hummels should be 100% in this squad.
Right. So in terms of centre halves, the first name we are putting on the team sheet is Mats Hummels.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need 3 more centre backs.
For me,
I guess another safe one is Rüdiger. I think you will all agree.
Yeah, I've got Rüdiger in there as well.
Well, there's a reason why I put his picture on. If you didn't pick him, it would have made it really awkward for me.
You could have put a picture on from Nico Schlotterbeck because I doubt that many know him in England.
Yeah, they're probably known from FIFA.
Plus, he's also in the under-21 squad, isn't he? So,
well, this is the thing, because I wanted to touch on this a little bit as well, because this year we've also got the Olympics, and Germany are taking a squad to the Olympics, and we don't know what players are going to be there. So we have to also take into consideration who will suffer burnout. And
I imagine the two, Udokai and Schlotterbeck, will probably go to the Olympics. I'd imagine.
So they will want to win, because German mentality is we play to win, we don't play to take part. So they will want to take a strong enough squad there, and it's all under 23s, apart from
2 overage players.
Two players that you can take that are over the age of 23, and someone might get an honorary, get Kevin Karanyi out of retirement or something like that.
So Flo, who would be your other 2 centre backs?
Let me think about it. One would be Matthias Ginter.
Yep, I've got Ginter
because
as well.
he's rather the quiet type, and he wouldn't make any problems if he's not playing, and he's okay as a backup. And I wasn't sure about the fourth one, but I picked Niklas Süle just because of what he was back then. And I believe he wouldn't be in my starting 11, but if you want to defend a lead and you need someone who is good in the air and who's good against, who brings some physical strength on the pitch. Zulu could be the right one if you're just defending like all the time the last 5 minutes. That's the reason why I would pick him, but he would never be in my starting 11.
In other words, I also want to play with no pace.
I've picked the same player as well. So that's the exact same 4 centre backs.
Well, I fancy Jonathan Tah knocking around in there as well.
To be honest, I watch every match of Jonathan Tah, and he hasn't developed since the Euros 4 years ago when he was nominated for the first time for a tournament due to the injury from Rüdiger back then. And he was such a promise, but it never fulfilled. Since 2 or 3 years, he's just staying on the same level or even slightly declining. So for me, he doesn't even belong to the national team anymore. He's not even a starting player in Leverkusen, because if Sven Bender and Tapsoba are fit, they are playing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to argue against you, and I can't. So let's have a look at fullbacks. So couple of left backs, couple of right backs. By the way, I love the fact that Robin Koch is not part of your squad, because if we look at the way that Leeds defend, why would he be anywhere? But if we're taking 4 centre backs and we're not taking Jerome Boateng, like he is,
this is technical reason for me, because Löw can't
we're trying to pick our best 23.
3.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he will take back Müller, and we now have the same opinion that he should take back Hummels. And if you would take also Boateng back, it would mean that he completely lost the direction 2 years ago.
Yeah, and but he's leaving anyway, so he doesn't give 2 hoots anyway.
For me, I haven't picked Boateng because I think that the options that we've gone through all deserve their place as well. I think Boateng, obviously, he's having a decent season. I don't think he's been great this season. I don't think Bayern Munich, not many of their defenders have been great this season, to be honest. So that's why I haven't picked him. I put Süle in because you're looking, I know it's the Euros now, but you're also looking who can have a run in this side for years to come.
Well, it's the World Cup the following year. And also, to be fair, he's had a full-on year playing-wise, and he's had to deal with his fair share of crap off the field as well, with his ex-girlfriend passing away earlier on this year. So he may actually need a pre-season just to level his head and just like kick on and start again and like, you know, hit the reset button. So I like to be controversial at times, but I have to sit here and agree with you. I can't do elsewhere anything else. So fullbacks then, couple of left backs, couple of right backs. Who we going for? Flo, you pick 2. I'll tell you what, you pick a left back and a right back, and then Devo, if you could pick alternative, and then I would like to know who your other 2 are.
Yeah,
and then who Flo's other 2 are. So Flo, you pick a left back and a right back.
Okay, that's a difficult one. Not the left backs, but the right backs, because later when we're talking about midfield, there's one player in midfield who might be the best midfielder in the world, but still needs to be considered as the right back, or at least as an option for right backs. Yeah, who else? Exactly. So I would, as a left back, my pick would be Robin Gosens. He's playing an incredible season at Atalanta. And not just this season, last season, the season before, he absolutely deserved it. We have a massive league on the left back position. And Robin Gosens is the only German left back who played Champions League consistently in the last 2 years, played good in the league. And that's why he would be my left back.
I would take him because his Twitter is the best. Like, his Twitter game is so damn strong. He is up there with the best. So for that reason, I'll take him alone. And who would you go right back?
Right back. I don't really know what's going on with Thilo Kehrer at the moment, because he would be like a typical he's a right back. He's quite fast. He can play center back, so you have some flexibility. But I haven't heard about anything about him recently. But still, I would say Thilo Kehrer as a starter.
Okay.
I mean, he's playing at PSG.
Yeah, exactly. They're still doing bits, aren't they? So then, Devo, if you could pick two alternatives, and I would like to know whether Flo has got the alternatives. In fact, Devo, you tell me your two left backs, your two right backs.
Well, I had Gosens as left back for sure.
That's fine then.
I was torn between Baku and Kehrer. Because Baku, I think, has had a great season and he offers more going forward as well. So I'm going to say Baku just to be different. So I've gone for Baku. And then I've got Klosterman as the backup left back.
Yeah.
And he could pretty much play anywhere across the back.
I love him.
And see, my defense, I've kind of mixed it up because you've got, as Flo said, you've got midfielders who can also play defense, right back, centre back. So I've just thrown another centre back in instead of another right back. Instead of another left back. I've thrown Halstenberg in. Yeah. Because again, he can cover several positions as well.
I like that idea. And
I actually was going to put Baku to go in at right back and to start. I want to see Rida Baku starting in the Euros.
But
I've got a weird affiliation with Wolfsburg at the moment, man. Honestly, I'm loving them too much. I've seen him whipping balls in for Alderman, you know, like the work that he uses on the right hand side with Stefan as well. I'm just like, he is a starter for me.
But I'm pretty sure that Rida Baku will play for the under-21s or Olympia or both.
He's currently in
very important for this squad. And Joachim Löw won't let him play as a starter. So I'm quite convinced that he says, okay, let's try to send a decent squad to the finals of the under-21 European Cup. And Rida Baku could be an important piece of that. So I'm quite sure he will play under-21s this year. But I like the idea of Halstenberg because Halstenberg can also play as a fullback. He would be the rather more defensively fullback like Benjamin Hövedes at the 2014 World Cup. I mean, he played all 7 games as left back. He was one of the most underrated players in the German squad in that tournament.
100%. He never gets spoken about. Ever. He was brilliant.
But talking about left backs, I would have picked Philipp Max because he isn't good enough for a starter, but he has too many problems in the defense. But his forward playing is wonderful. I mean, he had like 16 assists at Augsburg. Imagine playing for Augsburg as a left back, not even a center midfield or a striker, left back for Augsburg, and a couple of assists and some goals, good free kicks, good set pieces. So I would. He just deserved it. He deserved it much earlier, or very earlier. No, I don't know. What's the right one?
Much earlier is
much earlier. He deserved it much earlier.
Yeah. We can remember that, Flo. Don't worry about that.
Well, I've got Philipp Max on my standby list.
Okay, so it's one of those. It's like you take a squad of 26, you play the preseason friendly just before the tournament starts, and it's like, right, okay, you all walk into a room, and it's like, to let you know, guys, you haven't made the list. There are some big names that I'm missing out on here, though, man. There's big names, but I understand your reasoning for it. So, are we saying that the 8 defenders that we are taking are Hummels, Rudiger, Hinter, Schüller, Gosens, Kehrer, Baku, and Klosterman?
I would switch Baku to Halstenberg, and then I would be perfect. But it's not about what
I'm happy to do
wants.
that. I'm happy to do that because Baku's playing in the Euro under-21s tournament right now, so it might be a bit too much football for him.
might be too much for him. So we're taking
And obviously the
Hausenberg.
Olympics coming up as well. So
we're taking Hausenberg over.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, man, like this squad.
This is where it gets
tough.
tricky.
It's tough. Right. So
This is
I have split the midfield to the forwards, not strikers, forwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. This is probably one of the hardest decisions that you'll ever see. There's a couple that are shooting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've got my starting three, but then I'm thinking, hold on a minute, what about him? But so we're assuming we're playing 4-3-3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just making sure. So, of the three in midfield, as far as I'm concerned, one other person can play here as well. So, the midfielders are Nadia Mariri. It's not banter really though. Yeah, he has been good. Max Arnold, he's had a great season so far. Julian Brandt, who has been, he's been getting deeper and deeper and deeper as he's getting older, but I swear he's still only fucking 17 anyway. Emre Can, who had a wonderful time at left back the other day. Mahmoud Dahoud, he's had a good season. Leon Goretzka, average. Mario Götze is doing all right at PSV. Yeah, he's doing all right at PSV actually.
Very good at PSV.
Yeah, he's doing very. Yeah, he's got what was it, like 7 goals, 5 assists, or something like that as well. And not just that, he's also been contributing to his game as well. Ilkay Gundogan, he's not doing too badly at Man City at the moment. The most overrated centre midfielder of all time, Joshua Kimmich, Tony Kroos. That's obviously banter about by the way. He's not as good as Declan Rice, according to some people. That person is
never going to let that go.
In the garden of where I am right now because we can socially distance.
Chuck something at him.
I'm gonna. Do you know what? I might. Foreign Neuhaus. Foreign Neuhaus. Seb Rudy. I used to love Seb Rudy, by the way. I don't know why he's on this list, but so that
because
means
he's the
get
boyfriend
selected.
of Joachim Löw.
Wow. Yes.
Exclusive.
There you go. Yeah.
Exclusive.
Heard it here first on 2UpTop/TFB/MAD. So that's Serdar.
Poor guy.
This is his last moment, isn't it? Until he moves on. Some old guy. He's about 40 years old. Florian Wirtz. Jonas Hoffmann. He's dropped off a little bit recently. And Armin Younes. I don't understand why he's been missing from the German side for the last 3-4 years. He is phenomenal, in my opinion. So it is a very, very packed out midfield. I want to throw in there early doors that Joshua Kimmich starts. Leon Goretzka starts.
Yeah.
But then do you start Gundogan or Tony Kroos? So for me, those 4 are definitely going.
This is where it gets murky because, as Florian said, for me, I might push Kimmich back to right back and then have Kroos, Gundogan, and Goretzka because Kimmich will probably be the best right back at the tournament.
Yeah.
And, when you've got Goretzka, Gundogan, and Kroos in midfield, I'm not going to say you're not going to miss Kimmich, but that's the best midfield in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
The thing is, Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka, they have these vibes between them on and off the pitch. They're so good. They're like a perfectly working machine together. Goretzka is the muscle, Kimmich is the brain, and I just love the two of them playing, especially in the German national team because I don't like Bayern Munich, but seeing them play is just great. And it could be that if you tear these 2 apart and replace them with Toni Kroos or Gundogan, that there might be a problem in terms of communication or of rhythm, etc., etc. And I don't know if that's such a good idea, but to be honest, we suffer good right backs, and if you play against like Cristiano Ronaldo or Kylian Mbappe, you need Joshua Kimmich to stop them on this position.
They've got that relationship, and that's the issue. Kimmich and Goretzka play week in, week out together. So I would like to play Joshua Kimmich right back in order to benefit from having Gundogan, who's having the season of his life. Toni Kroos is not exactly having a bad season, and Leon Goretzka. That's because if you look at that midfield there, just let's turn around and say Joshua Kimmich is injured for the tournament. You're missing because, as far as I'm concerned, he's the best midfielder in world football right now. But when he's missing, and you drop those three names, it's almost like, is he missing?
That's what I said. It's still the best midfield in world football for me.
It's the craziest midfield going.
But you know what? I think you have with those names there, you have the option depending on who you're playing. If you're playing someone who you really want to dictate the tempo and control the ball, you want to play Kroos. If you're playing someone who you just want to attack and, you know, just basically batter, you'll play Gundogan because he's going to get forward and he's going to get amongst the goals. So you have that option of tweaking the team by having that controller in Toni Kroos, or, you know, basically another forward player in Gundogan.
Or having someone like Julian Brandt there.
Yeah.
I really like that Devo said at this point, because it should be concerned how Germany will play or should play, and we are not the passing machine we were like back in 2016 when we were the best team in the world on each position maybe, and we got arrogant in 2018 and we lost the spirit and we lost quality in the squad. So why not focusing on counter pressing, midfield pressing, counter attacks, all this stuff? And Toni Kroos is not a player for this kind of playing football, for this kind of fast, energetic football. Toni Kroos is a player for possession, from my point of view. And this is something that will show in my starting 11. We'll show it later or tomorrow.
Okay, so 4 names are definitely on that list already.
So Gundogan, Kroos, Goretzka, Kimmich, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Did you left one name out of purpose, Gav? I didn't understand it correctly in advance.
I'm not quite sure yet. I'll tell you what. Tell me the name, and I'll tell you whether he's there elsewhere.
I will.
Do you want to put it in the private chat? Do you want to put it in the private chat?
Who?
I will text you in the private chat. Yeah,
you type it in the private chat, and then whilst you're typing that, let's have a look at some of the other names. Obviously, we've got a lot of Florian Wirtz there. We've got Armin Younes. We've got Florian Neuhaus, who's had a good season despite Gladbach dropping off a cliff over the last couple of months. Flo, yeah, don't worry about that. He's elsewhere. He is elsewhere. Emre Can, as I said, like was turning on a left back pretty much the other day, and like doing like some mad 360 spins and all that sort of stuff. Max Arnold, he's had a lovely season, and Wolfsburg are currently third in the table at the moment. And Miri, I don't think he should be anywhere near it right now. Mario Götze, he is the nation's darling. Let's be real. He won the World Cup for Germany at the age of 21.
Yeah, but
22.
Leave him alone in the Netherlands. He needs to have his calm life. He's just starting enjoying life, and if we take him back to the German publicity and to the Euros, I don't think this would work out.
I just feel that it's that I'm getting either older or lost because Mario Götze is only 20 or both. Yeah, you're right. Mario Götze is only 28. And it was only last season when he was getting released, and we were like, "Oh, the guy's finished. He's finished. He's done in these streets."
Those injuries, man. Those injuries really done him.
It has, but last season when he got released, he was 27.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, like where have I been? It's almost like when he bagged in the final in 2014. He was 21. Like, yeah, but almost like it makes me feel like he was 27, 28 again.
Yeah, because he was on a peak at this point. He was champion with Dortmund, with Bayern, played the Champions League final before, and he was injured at the Champions League final.
He was on the bench. I remember. He was at the Champions League final, still at Dortmund, weren't he? But he'd already agreed the move to Bayern. I remember watching that in a Keller in London. They tried, I say in a Keller in London, what a proper Keller. It was just a
which one was it?
Pub. It was one like on the edge near, like in between Arsenal and Shoreditch.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Like, I can't remember what it's called. There's one around there. Yeah. But like I was like, he knows he's leaving. He couldn't care less who wins this game. He's the only winner of that whole day that can guarantee a victory. So he probably popped into the laddies just beforehand because it was in Wembley, weren't it? That final. So we've got 4 names down. Who are the 4 that we are taking?
I've put Florian Neuhaus in. Neuhaus.
Me too.
I've got him in. The name that was discussed in the private chat, I've got him down as a midfielder actually. So I've only got 2 more. I've gone for Emre Can. Again, because he can fill a lot of positions. And I've gone for Armin Younes.
You gone for you? Oh, yeah, Younes had a wonderful season.
Armin Younes, because I think he would be a bit of an unknown quantity to a lot of different nations. And I think he's got a bit of an X factor about him. He can make something happen out of nothing. Very tidy player. And sometimes you need that kind of X factor off the bench who not many teams know about, and they're just like, wow, who's this guy?
I'll get that.
I had the same question in my mind between Brandt and Younes, because I was looking for a player you could maybe bring in if you're behind, or if you need a winner or to score a goal. And as you said, he's unknown, but he has this eccentricity on the pitch somehow. You don't know what to expect from him. Same like it was with Julian Brandt at the 2018 World Cup. But he became now a little more, tired just relaxed, Julian Brandt, because he has a good contract at Dortmund and he's a made player, a made man. And regarding this, I would prefer Younes as well. Also, he has the momentum with Eintracht Frankfurt. They're playing a great season, and Brandt is playing like a
wonderful season.
I don't know, like a roller coaster this season again.
So that's only 7 midfielders, because the other midfielder you haven't put on this list.
Yeah, I've sort of it's tough. I would like to take Maxi Arnold, and the reason why I'd like to take him is because of set pieces. And I would like, but it's difficult because you can't start him. That's the issue. You can't start Maxi Arnold.
No,
I think it's a difficult one, like because as it gets later on into the game, you could bring him on, and he will still be enough of a positive threat. And then you got Seb Rudy, who, if you do want to think, right, let's go a bit more defensive minded, or you could bring him on. He could shore things up just in front of the back 4, and he can still drive forward as well. But Emre Can is there for that as well. So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. Dahoud, he's got a bit of creativity, but I don't think he should be at the squad. Florian Wirtz, I think, is a year too soon for him.
A bit too soon for him, yeah. I think Florian Wirtz should go to the Olympics.
Okay, then.
No, he should go to the Euros maybe, but not the Olympics, because the Olympics reach too far in the upcoming season. And Florian Wirtz, at his age, he needs the preseason to start performing on a constant level. You can't.
Is that the Leverkusen fan talking?
No, it's a fan of a young player talking. I would say the same about Jamal Musiala. He shouldn't play the Olympics as well. Maybe the under-21s and then relax in some vacation, but not Olympics. The Olympics are very dangerous for the players because they're so late in summer.
Do you know what I'll do for you boys? I'll allow you to put Thomas Muller as part of the midfield.
Yeah, Thomas Muller as midfield.
I was going to try and play
or
with
we just go for 7 midfielders and have 5 attackers. Either way, Muller kind of.
I'll tell you what. Let's do that. Let's do that because I created these things earlier on today, and Muller is down in the forwards. So let's do that. So at the moment, the squad is looking like this. We have our 3 goalkeepers so far. We've got Neuer, Ter Stegen and Trapp. Our defenders that we are taking, we've got 8 defenders down on this list. We've got Max Hummels, we've got Antonio Rudiger, we've got Niklas Schuler, and Matthias Hinter. We also have our fullbacks. We're taking Gozens, Kira, Klosterman, and Haustenberg. And in our midfield, we are taking Gundogan, Kroos, Goretzka, Kimmich, Neuhaus, Chan, and Eunice. Yeah. Lovely. So sounds forward good. Line, we've already said that we're taking Thomas Muller, but the other names on the list are Julian Draxler, Serge Gnabry, Kai Havertz, Jamal Musiala, Leroy Sané, Mark Uth, great player, Kevin Volland, Luca Waldschmidt, and Timo Werner. So we've got one name down already. That's Thomas Muller. So we need 4 more off this list. There's 10 names on this list. Who are the other 4?
Gnabry and Sané safe. I believe we don't need to discuss about them.
Yeah.
And for me, Kai Havertz is as well, and Timo Werner, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
for me, they pick themselves. The only one I felt slightly sorry for on that list is Kevin Volland, because Germany struggle for a striker. If we take Timo Werner and he doesn't, he's either not fit or doesn't perform, you haven't got another out-and-out striker in that squad. I mean, Muller can do a job there. Havertz can do a job there.
You've got Mark Uth, Devo.
No, but I mean, if we take Timo Werner ahead of Mark Uth, Kevin Volland's the only other one, and Luca Waldschmidt, I suppose. But Kevin Volland's the only other one who could play a lone striker, and he's banging goals for Monaco. He's doing really well this season. But there's not enough.
Volland would be a player if you're in front and you bring him as a substitute. He's doing a lot of dirty work. He will run towards the defenders all the time. So it would be always pressuring him. And he has very big strength, and that is his fucking big ass. Or ass. This was one of the success factors in Leverkusen when we did played on counter-attacks. The opponent had the corner. It was kicked out or headed out by a defender from Leverkusen. Volland got it and just brought his ass between him and the defender. And Brandt or Havertz or Bailey Diaby were running towards the wing. Volland passed the ball in the deep of the pitch, and out of nothing, they were standing in front of the goalkeeper and scoring a goal. So for counter-attacks, Kevin Volland is really, really good. You shouldn't underestimate his ass. Man. He has a great ass.
Right, and the thing is with Kevin Volland as well, right? Right, look, this is one of those situations, for you, because like you have that sort of like inner love for him because ex-Leverkusen, that love is always there. But let's be real honest here. It's his boyfriend. It's cool. That's fine. We all share the love here. We all love each other. But like he's played 28 games this season. He's scored 13 goals. He's got 8 assists as well. I don't want to hear the slander about, it's only the French league. Rah, rah. Have you watched him? If you haven't watched 5 to 10 games, 90 minutes, outright watching what is happening, and all you can say is, it's a pony league, rah, rah. You haven't watched the game? Don't at me. Don't bother subscribing to the channel and doing that sort of stuff. I want to talk to people that understand football and know their game. So if you do understand football, you know your game, you watch these games and you have a different opinion, that is fine. You can have that. But if you haven't watched it and you want to kick off, don't want to hear it. Kevin Volland is criminally underrated, and the fact that he's doing it in the Bundesliga, he's gone over there, he's done it in Europe, and he's done it on the national scene as well. I've got a lot of time for him, man. I really do.
It's just a shame.
He's played games, but like there's always someone better at that time, which is a shame. I think
it's the shame is that you only have space for one out-and-out striker, because you can't leave Thomas Muller out. Do you know what I mean? That's the death warrant. What are you doing? You can't leave Gnabry, you can't leave Sane at home because, as we said, in terms of X factor, these two can just run games on their own. They could turn up and just tear someone apart.
Arsenal could leave Gnabry out back in the days.
Oh, I don't understand that. You know what? He had a lot of injuries, though. To be fair, Wenger was high on him. He had a lot of injuries, and then that loan spell to West Brom ruined him. Never understood that. But Timo Werner is. Would you be gutsy enough to leave Timo Werner at home, considering what he can do?
Yeah,
I know he's not on the best of form this season, although his goal contributions have actually been decent. And his work for the team has been decent. He's missed a lot of chances. Yes. Would you leave him at home and risk, his confidence going forward?
Shout. Would I leave him at home? No. Would I start him? Would I leave him at home? No. Would I start him? No.
Yeah, I understand that.
Thomas Muller in a false position. But you'll see those on our Twitter feeds tomorrow. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know about what do you think, Flo? Would you? Well, in fact, Devo, you asked the question. You can answer it. Like, do you? Oh
no, I'll take Werner.
And would you start him?
No.
Flo?
Yes.
You start him.
I start him, yeah, because as I already said before, I like the idea of playing a little bit of counter-pressing, counter-attacking football, and Timo Werner, Gnabry, and Sane. Those three, they're just rockets, man. They have so much fire. I want to see those three attacking all the time and running down the wings and down the pitch all the time. That's why I picked Timo Werner. Thomas Müller would be too slow for me, and I love the way Thomas Müller is positioning himself in between the lines of midfield, attack, etc. So he's like very hard to grab for defense, and I'm quite sure he's better in midfield. That's why I picked him as a midfielder.
That's starting 11
as a midfielder, not as a striker.
The starting 11 is going to be tough.
Starting 11 is really tough.
It's tough.
And we're just Bundesliga fans, and a German national, a German lover, and Devo. But I just literally thought, hold on a minute, I might have to go 4-2-3-1. But who the hell am I going to play in midfield? How can I only pick two?
Well, you could be 3-5-2,
we get to it.
or 3-6-1, but it's like always the struggle. If you want to play with three defenders, so we have two quite decent defenders. Who is the third on international level? It becomes difficult. You're very wide on the wings suddenly because you have no good left or right backs. It's a very difficult question for Joachim Löw.
Yeah.
On the plus side, they have 3 group games that they will play.
Yeah, but against
the group is France
the world champion, the European champion, and Hungary, isn't it? I don't know. I don't even know.
I was going to say, and Hungary as well. So you haven't
got time to experiment in this group.
You got time to experiment, but you have got pre-season, like pre-tournament friendlies and things like that. So, right. So our squad, and this is it's not going to be on the screen right now because we've compiled this, and I'm not that good at doing these. I could do it away. Yeah, I could do it like afterwards. So, pens at the ready, eyes down. Goalkeepers: Neuer, Ter Stegen, Trapp. Defenders: Hummels, Rudiger, Hinter, Dikla Schuler, Gozens, Kira, Klosterman, and Hausenberg. Midfield, we've got 7. Gundogan, Kroos, Goretzka, Kimmich, Neuhaus, Chan, and Younes. And then our front 5 of Thomas Müller, Gnabry, Sané, Havertz, and Werner. So we will be making a starting 11. I'll get that list compiled, make sure it's all ready for you. I'll send it to you guys in the group, and then we will make a starting 11. And this is going to go out tomorrow on our Twitter feeds. And I'd like everybody to put in what they think. This is the squad, by the way. This is our squad, and you cannot say, what about this person? What about that person? So anyone who's watching, it's ours. This is our 23. You have to deal with it, and you have to get a starting 11 out of that. You can play whatever formation you want. I personally was going to go with a 4-3-3, potentially end up going a 4-2-3-1. Devo, you're a 4-3-3 guy on this.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Flozif?
4-3-3, exactly.
With an asterisk in the corner.
Yeah.
So it's time for this.
Wolfman's words of wisdom.
We didn't have one last week.
Genius.
True, yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I blame the German guy. Right, so Flozif, what's going on here?
Yeah, you see some huge football legends on this picture, especially a German striker legend. Didn't recognize him? Yeah, me neither. But to be honest, he played for Leverkusen. His name is Paul Rink, and there's some funny chants about him, but I won't start singing again because
why not?
I will look as funny, and I don't remember the chant as well.
I was going to say, what's the Bundesliga show without Flo singing? I'm well confused. Like,
yeah, we need a new segment. Flo sings the hits.
Yes, that's going to be for next season, for 21-22 season.
That's a good idea. I sing a fan chant of every German football team. Which
everyone. I like most. Oh, it'd be awesome.
And defender next to him is Robert Kovac. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah,
the older brother of Niko Kovac.
Yeah,
exactly. And this was a historical match between. It was a friendly, I believe, between Germany and Croatia in Zagreb. And the first historical thing about this match is that it was raining all the time, and it's nearly on the day 21 years ago. So it happened on the 29th of March, 2000. So right before these horrible Euros from, I believe, the worst tournament ever from a German side. And
wow,
it was
2018.
Yeah, okay. But we had the worst team at this tournament. This team was just like destroying players. And at this match there was the highest number of players in a single match from a German national team and an opponent, but just in terms of Germany, which came from one club. So whenever Germany faced another nation, this match was the match with the most players from Germany and the other side from one team on the club, from one team on the pitch, from one club on the pitch. So I hope you understood.
It's the Croatian national side and a load of players that are playing in the Bundesliga. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, a couple of players from the Croatian national side and were playing in the Bundesliga. And one club from Germany had many players in this German squad. Yeah.
So do you know the number of who? Do you know the number of that? Of how many?
I know. Yeah, it's been 7 German players and 2 Croatian players. So in total, club? 9 players in a match from one club. Yeah.
Was that your place?
Yeah, take a look on your chest. Was the Magic Club?
Bayer
Leverkusen. Which jersey you're wearing? Yeah, Bayer Leverkusen.
Am I allowed to kiss it?
That would be
I'm not doing that.
I suppose I kind of kissed Schalke's badge last week.
Oh, you did. Fair enough.
But let's see if you guys remember all the players. We were already talking about Paul Ring. Obviously, no one remembers him. Not even the Germans remember him.
What year was this?
2000. What would you guess?
Marco Ballack was there.
Ballack's correct. Yeah.
Ballack. Hans-Jörg Butt was he there?
What?
Hans-Jörg Butt.
The goalkeeper. No. He was playing at Hamburg at this time, and he wasn't playing in the match.
Oh, bloody hell, Flo. I knew it was going to be like a trivia question. I would have done some research before. Bloody hell. Clue. Right. So we got Niko Kovac.
No, actually not. It was just Robert Kovac, and he played for Leverkusen as well at this time.
Yeah. So
there was a
Robert,
second Croatian playing for Leverkusen, and I give you a hint. This Croatian player also played in the Champions League final 2002 as a fullback.
Oh, yeah, it's not Robert Yanni.
What name?
Robert
we
Yanni.
both went with Robert Yanni.
I don't get the name.
No.
Robert Yanni.
Never. I don't remember a player of this name playing for Leverkusen.
It wasn't him then.
It's Boris Sivkovic. I don't know if you remember.
Sivkovic.
Okay. Yeah,
oh my God!
yeah.
Yes. Yes, and he could play central. He could play CDM as well. He could play there as well. Sivkovic.
Very good German player. Ulf Kirsten.
He could basically play every position in the defense, but not very good. Everyone.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Yeah, for Germany.
No idea.
Ulf Kirsten.
Ulf Kirsten, yeah, great as a striker. Jens Nowotny as a centre back.
Jens Nowotny,
yes. You remember Jens Nowotny? Yeah. Carsten Ramelow.
Carsten Ramelow. Yeah, blonde guy.
Yeah.
Paul Rink is attacker. I already said that. Stefan Beinlich. Have you ever heard about him?
No, I wouldn't have had him.
No.
He played for Leverkusen, Hamburg, and Rostock, and he's currently manager of Rostock in third league. And he was quite a good winger, but he was rather the guy who's kicking the set pieces and not the guy who's taking the sprints down the road. And Oliver Neville as a sub.
Oh, Oliver Neville, yeah.
One true legend was missing, and this was Bernd Schneider back then.
Yeah. Bernd Schneider. I've got. I'm not going to say that on air either. I'll say that unfair about Oliver Neville.
He's a good player, man.
Good guy, but he just looked a bit suspect. It's no Bundesliga.
He's also a bit suspect.
Yeah, exactly. There's no Bundesliga this week, but we'll have a look at what we're going into next week. So first off, we'll have a look at the bottom of the table. Arminia Bielefeld in 17th on 22 points. Flo's second favourite team, FC Köln. They are in 16th in the playoff position on 23 points. Above them, Mainz and Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin just slightly above them at the moment. Both on 24 points. Augsburg on 29. Werder Bremen on 30. Level with Hoffenheim. And still in the bottom half, only just though, is Mönchengladbach on 36 points. And in the top half of the table, level on points with those are Stuttgart, who did drop after their defeat. Massive defeat against Bayern Munich. Freiburg with their 2-0 win are in 37th place, in 8th place on 37 points. Union Berlin, well, to be fair, the top 7 haven't moved. Union Berlin on 38 points. Bayer Leverkusen, 6th place on 40 points. Dortmund on 43 points, 4 points behind Frankfurt on 47, 4 points behind Wolfsburg on 51, 6 points behind Leipzig, and top are Bayern Munich. Quickly, we'll run through the fixtures for this weekend coming up. This is a massive week for everybody. Borussia Dortmund versus Frankfurt. Bayer Leverkusen with a tough game at home to Schalke. Wolfsburg at home to FC Köln. Mainz versus Bielefeld, big 6-pointer at the bottom of the table. Augsburg versus Hoffenheim. Saturday night, Leipzig versus Bayern Munich. I'm so happy that this game is on.
Meatball.
But it's super spicy. This game is on, and I can watch this and then watch Arsenal get pumped by Liverpool, which is fantastic. Gladbach versus Freiburg, and on Sunday you got Stuttgart versus Bremen, and then the Berlin derby, Union at home this time at the Alten Forestieri, the Old Forest, against Hertha Berlin. There you go. Tomorrow, if you are watching this show live, if you're listening back, you'll be able to find out who we are picking in our starting 11s on our Twitter feeds at Gav Mack 23, at Devo LDN, at Loberon_tweets. You can put TFB Dugout, 2 at Top Football, and MAD Sports Network into Google. And if you didn't know already, our names come up first. So, from the boys, gracias.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Cheers.